Induction. It was a back brace that I had a curvature in my spine like scoliosis, and so I spent pretty much the whole year in the back brace. But I could take it off for an hour a day to move around and make sure you still have mobility. So Chris got me back into the pool during my junior year, and then I started swimming again. But I feel like I should mention there's a thing in the program that says that as a sophomore it states I broke the state record. But the fact is I did do that, but I did not set the state record because in the 500 freestyle. Because even though I think I would have won the race, the problem was that someone else swam faster. My sprint at the end was too little too late, and I was out-touched, and therefore left out of the record books because I came in second. I'm not sure if I'm the first male swimmer inducted into the Hall of Fame, but in any event, this really is quite an honor, which I really do appreciate. Those high school and competitive swimming days seem like a lifetime ago, and I can't imagine going through all of that again today. That said, I still consider myself an athlete, and sports and exercise will always be a big part of my life. I think about sports a lot, whether rooting for the Patriots, marveling at Michael Jordan or most of the Olympic Games, or watching sports documentaries like Friday Night Tykes, which I'm a big fan of. Sports continues to teach me so much about competition, about people, about business, and life. And I think that people who don't compete in sports really don't understand all these things as well as those of us who have been competitive athletes. Participation in sports and a love and appreciation for them is something I hope to impart to my two young daughters who you keep hearing in the back of the room here, 2 and 4-year-olds. Having failed so miserably to teach this stuff so far to my parents. So, having said that, my mother deserves so much credit. She's the one who got me into a swimming program as a child, partly because she hates swimming herself and thought that her son should learn how to swim properly, but mostly out of desperation and self-preservation. You see, I had so much energy, putting me in the pool for hours a day was the best thing she could think of to burn some of it off. The other parents soon nicknamed me Wild Man, and they weren't ashamed of that. They would say that to my parents, hey, where's Wild Man? So I'm so grateful to Mom for the thousands of hours that you spent taking me to 5:30 a.m. practices and out-of-state swim meets and talking, through whatever was on my mind, from swimming to school to girls to my career and the rest of my life. I'm actually glad that BHS sort of forgot about me and that I wasn't inducted here long ago, so that now at this stage of my life, where I've been married for 7 years, and my wife Angel can be here with me, along with my closest uncle, and of course both of my parents. Swimming is an individual sport, but also a team sport. You train together, and on relays, you race together. To win a championship, since you can only swim 2 individual races and 1 relay, we couldn't each individually choose to swim all the races that we preferred or that we were best at, but we had to do what was best for the team. So a lot of thought went into winning the state championship. Our coach, Chris Hafferty, who is here videoing this here in the corner, he himself was a star swimmer at BHS years earlier. He himself broke some state records, and he deserves to be inducted into this Hall of Fame. He's the one who coaxed me back into the water even while I was still in a back brace my entire junior year. And he's the one who got me off the muscle relaxants that the doctor prescribed for my latest back injury, which were pulled muscles and spasms I suffered the week before states my senior year. They had me knocked out and bedridden for 4 days. I was literally sleeping all day. This was during spring break between sectionals and states. It was still in my system, and I don't know who he found, some pharmacist, to look up the ramifications of this drug, but it stays in your system for 3 days afterwards. So we called my mom and said, where's Padulo? And she explained, and he's like, he needs to get off this drug now, because states are in 3 days. He's going to still have this in his system. So we cut that out, and basically just in the nick of time for me to get it out of my system, regain my energy in competitive form. So I learned so much from you, Chris. Not just how to get faster in the pool, but about being a better captain, co-captain, and person, so that everyone involved felt part of our team's success. I think that's my daughter giving me the cue. Anyway, to wrap up, I feel much gratitude to Joe Campagna for all the work you've done to make this evening so successful, and to the entire committee for including me in such an accomplished group for induction into the Hall of Fame. I feel very fortunate to participate in this ceremony, and my family and I will never forget this recognition. Thank you.